Last week I did a live unboxing on my channel, of course, of the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex, and I was blown away by the color, by the build, by the design, and the overall sleek looks. Now I have the 15.6-inch version. I like its QLED display. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's getting phenomenal battery life. We'll get into that in this review. And it has really good performance with that 10th generation Ice Lake processors. But it's certainly not perfect. We'll get into what I like and what I don't like. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the all-new Samsung Galaxy Book Flex. Coming up. If you want to see more videos like this, why not hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell. This way you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. And make sure you follow me on my social media, especially Twitter and Instagram. That's where I post all the latest updates. Now, I covered a lot of the specs in my unboxing video, so I'm not going to go over it here. So if you haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the video description below. Now, pricing for the 13.3-inch model is $13.49 US. Price for the 15.6-inch model, which is what I have here, is $13.99. You can pick it up at Samsung.com or you can go over to BestBuy.com. I'll put the link below for more information and where you can buy it. Now, if you live outside the United States, apparently there is a variant with the NVIDIA GeForce MX250 GPU option. We don't get that here in the US. Normally, I'm not a big advocate for 15-inch convertibles. They tend to be on the bulky and heavy side, although this is really thin, really light for a 15-inch convertible at 3.4 pounds or 1.52 kilograms. It actually is more portable than I thought it would be. It also has really good build and it has a really nice look to it. I really am digging that royal blue color, although it is a major fingerprint magnet, as I mentioned previously in my unboxing video. Now, without a doubt, the star of the show is its gorgeous 15.6-inch QLED display. It's sharp, it's bright, it's vibrant, it's everything you'd want in a display, and I'm really happy with it so far. Now, this comes in a full HD resolution that is 1920 by 1080, and it also is a 16:9 aspect ratio, making it good for consuming media, watching Netflix, YouTube, and the like. It also covers the color gamut really well. You're looking at 100% sRGB, 88% Adobe RGB, and it covers 100% of the DCI P3 wide color gamut, so if you're a creative professional, this is definitely an excellent choice. It's an excellent display for Lightroom, Photoshop, and of course, video editing. Now, this also has the outdoor mode. It gets up to 600 nits of brightness according to Samsung, and it's pretty accurate actually. And as you can see, it does bump up the brightness, although this is a very glossy display, so you will still have some issues with reflections, with glare in direct sunlight, but it's still readable in direct sunlight. So I really do like the outdoor mode. And with the outdoor mode off, you do get 348 nits of brightness, which is definitely good, definitely above the 300 we'd like to see. And of course, with the outdoor mode on, it did get 600 nits as Samsung claims, and that's pretty good. You're looking at really deep blacks, very vibrant colors, very accurate colors as well. That's a little bit different from the OLED displays. This gives you more natural colors, and I think I like it a little bit better than OLED. Remember, this is the first laptop, at least that I've seen, with a QLED display. It also has good viewing angles and also has very good contrast, so I'm really happy with this QLED display. Now, it does have slim side bezels, it does have a slim top bezel, but the bottom does have a chin, and as I mentioned in my unboxing video, that's because you will be using this as a tablet. You need somewhere to hold. Now, one of the benefits of a QLED display as opposed to, say, an OLED display is battery life. And when it comes to battery life, well, the Flex did pretty amazing. With the outdoor mode off, it did 15 hours and 42 minutes on my continuous web surfing test. With the outdoor mode on, it still did an astounding 13 hours and 17 minutes. Both excellent results, both best in the category. I'm really impressed. And if you do need to plug in, it does support fast charging, giving you a full charge in less than 2 hours. So this is the front-facing camera on the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex. Now, if you caught my unboxing video, you know the audio from the microphones was not very good. I'm not really happy with the audio quality. I'm hoping that a software or a software patch can fix this problem. Otherwise, it might be an issue, especially since we're working from home. We need to have good audio and video as well. So I'm very curious to see how that will all play out. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. Now, the webcam itself is not Windows Hello compatible since it's not an infrared camera, but you do get a fingerprint scanner located next to the right shift key on the keyboard, and it worked well. Setup was easy and registered my finger each and every time I used it. I thought it worked really well. But I thought the placement was a bit odd, especially next to the right shift key, which is half size, which I'm not crazy about either. We'll get into that in the keyboard section of this video. Now, I went over the ports in my unboxing video, but for those that didn't see it, you do get a 3.5mm headset jack, you get a USB-C port, you get a microSD card slot, all located on the left side. Moving over to the right side, you get two Thunderbolt 3 ports and your silo that houses the S Pen. Now, one thing of note, there's no USB-A port, but they do give you a USB-A to USB-C adapter in the box. Now, when it comes to performance, the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex is running Intel's 10th generation Ice Lake processor, the Core i7-1065 G7, 12 gigabytes of LP DDR4X RAM, which is on board, and Intel Iris Plus graphics. What you can do with this, of course, is Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, consuming media, watching Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, all worked really well, especially consuming media with that gorgeous QLED display. Now, as far as gaming is concerned, this is not a gaming laptop, although you can play some of the older titles if you lower the settings, and you can add an external GPU if you so choose, thanks to the Thunderbolt 3 ports that this laptop has. But again, if you want to play the AAA titles on its highest settings, you can pretty much forget about it right out of the box. And when it comes to video editing, I would stick to 1080p video editing. 4K video editing really is not optimal on this device since it only has Intel Iris Plus graphics. I would look for something with a dedicated GPU to get more graphics horsepower. But for 1080p, you should be fine. And I like the fact that it's pretty easy to get inside this laptop. There are 4 feet that you need to remove. There's no adhesives. They just pop right out. They're easy to put back in. There are 4 screws you need to remove. Once you do that, pop off the bottom plate and you're in. Now, once inside, you'll notice that it has a single fan, although there is a space for a second fan. And what's interesting is that the 13.3-inch version of the Flex has dual fans. Probably the reason they didn't have a second fan in this one is because there's not a need for one, I guess. I'm not really sure. There's more space here. More heat dissipation is allowed in a bigger space, so who knows? And another theory I have is that there is a variant outside the United States that does have a dedicated GPU, the MX250, and that's probably a fan used to cool that GPU. But then again, that's just my educated guess. Now, as far as fan noise, not very bad, not overly obnoxious. It's pretty good, actually. It's pretty quiet. Now, the Wi-Fi card is soldered into the motherboard as well as the RAM, so you won't be able to upgrade the RAM or swap out the RAM. But what is upgradable is the SSD. Interestingly enough, they went with an Intel SSD rather than Samsung's own SSD. But then again, this was designed by Intel, not Samsung, so that might make sense. And speaking of the SSD, you get some pretty decent reads and writes. Now, as far as thermals are concerned, when I streamed a 15-minute HD video, it never got above 96 degrees Fahrenheit or 35.5 degrees Celsius, which isn't too bad. Now, I did notice by the power button it got pretty hot, 103 degrees Fahrenheit or 39.4 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's pretty hot. Probably having a second fan would have helped here. Now, when it comes to the keyboard, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I do like the way it feels. It has a really satisfying tactile feedback, although it is a bit on the shallow side. Now, you will notice that right shift key, it's a half-size key, and I was really concerned in my unboxing video that that was going to be an issue, but after about a day or so, I became acclimated to it, and it didn't have as many mishaps as I thought I would. And I appreciate the fact that it has a multi-stage backlight. It allowed me to get work done in a dark room and a dimly lit environment. I thought it worked well. Now, it does have a precision touchpad. It's a nicely sized touchpad. It was very responsive. 2-finger scrolling was buttery smooth. All the gestures worked as advertised. Now, I really like the wireless power share. At first, I thought it would be a bit gimmicky, but after using it for a few days now, I think it's a really nice feature to have, especially when you have your smartphone. It turned out to be a lot more useful than I thought it would be. Good job, Samsung. Now, the audio is pretty good here. It has AKG tuned speakers. I thought it got pretty loud, decent mids, decent bass, and I thought it filled up the room rather nicely. I think they did a really good job in terms of the audio. Now, another big selling feature of this laptop is the inclusion of the S Pen. That's right, that's the same S Pen you'd find in the Galaxy Note line, which is very popular, of course. And it's the same functionality, the same Bluetooth functionality. The air commands are there, all the gestures are there, and it also uses the Wacom EMR technology, meaning it's battery-free when it comes to the actual writing itself, although it does have a battery for the Bluetooth, and it does store and charge in the device, which, of course, as you know, I do like. Great for taking notes, great for sketching out artwork, and it's pretty much what you'd expect with the S Pen. So for those that are a big fan of it, you're going to like the inclusion of it here with this laptop. Now, DeX mode was really good on this laptop, great for file transfer with your smartphone. I'm going to do a separate video on DeX with this laptop. So to wrap it all up, can I recommend the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex? And the answer is absolutely. This is a stunning device in the sense that it is gorgeous with that navy blue color, the bright QLED display. The epic battery life is simply phenomenal. I like the wireless power share and the touchpad, built-in S Pen, thin, light, versatile device. Now, here are the things I don't like. The odd placement of the fingerprint scanner is quite a bit puzzling, and the RAM is not user upgradable, and the keyboard is, of course, on the shallow side, although I did get used to it, and I kind of like it. There are no real deal breakers here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give this a score of 91%, making the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex worth your money. So what do you think about this bad boy, the Samsung Galaxy Book Flex? It is simply stunning with its royal blue color, really premium design, all metal build, really great overall looks with this laptop. Now, I like the 10th generation Intel Ice Lake processor. It's got the Intel Iris Plus graphics. However, it only has 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is kind of odd since you're paying $13.99. You would kind of expect 16 gigabytes of RAM. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that regard, although the performance was actually pretty good. I didn't notice too much of a decrease in performance with those missing 4 gigabytes of RAM, but the star of the show has to be its QLED display. Now, this is the 15.6-inch version, full HD, means you're 1920 by 1080, 16:9 aspect ratio, great for watching Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, and the like. I really like this display. It's excellent in terms of battery life. First of its kind in terms of a QLED on a laptop. And I'm seeing with battery life more than 15 hours with the outdoor mode off. With the outdoor mode on, which gets up to 600 nits of brightness, you're looking at 13 plus hours. Phenomenal battery life indeed. Now, it does come with the S Pen, and it's located right over here. Same S Pen you'd find in the Note line, and I'm really happy with it. 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. It supports the tilt function, and it worked really well. Great for taking notes, sketching out artwork, and it also employs Bluetooth for the air commands and all the gestures we've come to know with the S Pen. So it works really well on this laptop, especially paired with that QLED touch display. As far as the sound, you got AKG tuned speakers. They sound really good, filling up the room rather nicely. I think they did a nice job when it comes to the audio. There really are very few downsides to this. Of course, you can't upgrade the RAM, but you can upgrade the SSD. The price is a little bit high, but again, you're getting a premium build and look. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. But I definitely like it. It's definitely a recommend on my channel. I really have enjoyed this so far. Love the battery life, love the display, the 2 stars of the show without a doubt. Again, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.